Hi, this is Jason over at Horrific Nightmares, and today I'm going to be doing a review for you for 1977's Ruby. Now, Ruby clocks in at 85 minutes and is directed by Curtis Harrington, who unfortunately passed away on May the 6th of 2007 due to complications he had from a stroke in 2005. Ruby is a slow burn. It's a movie that you have to be patient with. I've heard other people say that it's kind of a mix between Carrie and The Exorcist, and that's kind of correct, but there's a lot of stuff in this movie. A lot of little characters and little things that happen in this movie that are, I don't know if they're interesting, but they kind of keep the pace going, even though it is a slow burn. The movie is about Ruby, which is played by Piper Laurie. She's in basically part of the mafia. She has a boyfriend who is also part of the mafia, and he's murdered in the beginning of the movie by the rest of his colleagues. I guess we should call them colleagues. Now, she is pregnant and has a child named Leslie who doesn't speak. Things start to happen. She buys a drive-in, and things aren't what they used to be. She shows movies that she was in previously. She was once a singer, but not really anymore. She's kind of washed up. A bunch of stuff starts happening, and the people, her colleagues in the mafia, start to die mysteriously, and they can't figure out why this is happening. So they call in a doctor, which is a parapsychologist, and they have a feeling that Leslie, her daughter, has something to do with these killings or accidents. And I'm going to leave it there. There are a lot of twists and turns in this. It's interesting. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I kind of liked it. I mean, I'm going to give this movie a 6, and I'm going to go through some interesting things about the film. Now, as I said before, Ruby stars Piper Laurie, and of course she's famous for Carrie. And one of my all-time favorite movies, 1961's The Hustler with Paul Newman, which, until I looked on IMDb, I didn't realize she was in, but now I can place her. And it also stars Stuart Whitman, which he was in Demonoid. The guy looks so familiar, and I couldn't place him at first, but I had just watched Demonoid maybe a couple months ago. And he had played the priest in Demonoid, if you've ever seen it. He also played in Eaten Alive, Tobe Hooper's Eaten Alive. And an interesting thing about this film was this was actually the highest grossing independent film in history until the following year when Halloween came out. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, the film was originally called Blood Ruby, but then they changed it to Ruby. Now, Curtis Harrington, the director, wanted it to be called The Apparition, and they completely ignored his request. There's actually two different versions of the movie. This is the theatrical version, which is 85 minutes. There's also a version which is 96 minutes that was directed by the additional scenes were directed by Shirley Rothman, and that was for television. In order for it to be shown on television, they had to record a bunch of extra footage because they couldn't show certain things on television. And I thought that was interesting. That was actually available on VHS for years, in the past. One of the other things I thought was pretty interesting was the ending of the film, which I'm not going to spoil, but if you do decide to watch this film, the ending of the film is actually not what the director, Curtis Harrington, directed. It was directed by someone else. His vision of the film was more, as they put it in the documentary, poetic. And he was pretty upset with kind of how the ending turned out. Now, on this Blu-ray, they have a lot of neat things. They have a commentary track by Curtis Harrington and Piper Laurie. They have 3 segments. Apparently, there was a public television show called Sinister Image, and there's 2 episodes of that, and an hour-long documentary about the director and stuff that he's done in the past. So, I mean, I would definitely recommend this movie. I mean, I am giving it a 6. The Blu-ray transfer, now, I've never seen the original, but the colors looked a little soft to me, and I don't know if it was the filming or what, but it was very dark. A lot of the scenes, and especially in the beginning, were very dark, and it was hard to see exactly what was going on. But, I mean, you know, I think I saw it on Amazon for like $13. I think it's worth it. I mean, it's a good film, and if you don't like it, you could always sell it or get rid of it or whatever. It's a good watch. So I'm going to give it a 6, and that's my review on Ruby. Christened in blood, raised in sin. She's sweet 16, let the party begin. That's cool. Till next time, guys.